Let's go, Brandon. I agree.
Why are you gay?
I am not gay. I have relationships with women and sex with men.
God, you're gay.
Oh my god, you're gay. Okay, audio seems good. Connection seems to be good too. Well, let's get the party started. Ahoy, ouch, my junk. Ahoy, Mr. Sarge. Speaking of gay, someone just got up. Okay. Who could that be? Who could that be? Okay. Welcome. My name is Ike. This is TAGN, the Angry Game News. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 2 p.m. I talk about video games mainly. Sometimes about movies, sometimes about TV shows and such stuff. But I try to focus on the video game part. But it colludes, it collides more or less with the normal life of everybody. Because gaming is a big part in our just daily life, actually, these days. It's a multi-billion, who knows, even maybe $1 trillion US dollar business these days, because everybody has some kind of gaming going on their systems. Maybe a computer, maybe a console, doesn't matter, or your smartphone. Smartphone is actually the biggest gaming section device, like globally. It's about 60%, 55, 60%, depending on how you count it, really, as gaming. But it's a big portion of our daily life. So that's why I think it's important to just talk in general about it. And sometimes it gets in connection with laws, with legalities, with politics and all such stuff. I have no idea who that could be. He lives probably in your household. Anyhow, we are here to talk about the video game news. The video game news. We're going to talk a little bit about Lara and her new upcoming game, Tomb Raider, in 2026. And they announced right away another one for 2027. And those are two different Laras. I don't know why they want that, but it is what it is. But let's get through whatever we have. Katsuhiro Harada leaving Bandai Namco at the end of 2025. I don't want to go too deep on this, but he is the guy who pretty much made Tekken, which is the beat-em-up game, and it was first in arcades, Tekken 1, and on PlayStation. Big success. I pretty much stopped playing after Tekken 4, though, on the PlayStation 2. Yeah, it must be a PlayStation. Yeah, it must be PlayStation 2. After that, it was whatever, man. Whatever. Tekken veteran Katsuhiro Harada has announced his departure from Bandai Namco after 3 decades. In recent years, I experienced the loss of several close friends in my personal life, and in my professional life, I witnessed the retirement or passing of many senior colleagues whom I deeply respect. During that period, I sought advice from Ken Kutaragi, whom I respect as though he were another father, and received invaluable encouragement and guidance. His words quietly supported me in making this decision. And Ken Kutaragi, pretty much Sony PlayStation boss back in the days when he started with Tekken. To everyone who has supported me, the communities around the world, and to all the colleagues who have walked alongside me for so many years, I offer my deepest gratitude. He is leaving like pretty much the whole industry, and he says thank you. That's a good thing. That you leave on a good note with your fans and your players. I think that's important. To not show it like the middle finger to everybody who didn't play his games, his latest games anymore. But yes, bye-bye, buddy. Tale of two Laras. It's not really a tale, it's just weird why they did announcing 2 games, and the better looking one is coming first, so that's at least some silver lining there, maybe. Oh, yes. Grasshopper's ultra-violent Romeo is a dead man, has no AI-generated stuff whatsoever, Suda51 assures. That's good because more and more video game developers coming out with admitting that they are using AI for many saying like, yeah, it's just for processes that are very tedious to do over and over again, like automated stuff pretty much. It's not really AI in general, but it's more like automated stuff. How trustworthy those statements are is a different story, but now it's becoming this weird like statement. Yeah, our product is not using AI. Developer Goichi Suda51 Suda has assured Grasshopper manufacturer fans that the studio's next game, the ultra-violent Romer is a Dead Man, contains no AI-generated material. Suda's AI comment comes after a sequel to the studio's Let It Die appeared to have built using a considerable amount of generative AI, though Grasshopper was not involved with this project. Rather, Let It Die Inferno was developed by Supertrick Games. Again, it's interesting that some companies come out like, our game doesn't use AI, you know? It reminds me a lot of this notion in the food industry, like doing the opposite what should be done. And what I mean with that is it's organic, it's non-GMO. Instead of putting a big ass fat red label on food that this food might kill you faster, you know? It's GMO. It's has all the fucking like substance in it or around it, on it, whatever, right? It's absolutely non-organic and all that. That's how food should be labeled. And it becomes the same in the video game industry. Like everything is gonna have AI. And if you don't have AI, then you need a label to like stick out in the crowd of video game developers. Our product has no AI. Good thing. If you're a retard, that's a good thing, I guess. Hays and hellos in the chat. But yes, what do you think about that? Is that a good development? Like games that don't have AI to really point out our game doesn't have AI. It's just weird to me. I'm gonna tell you why I took this news. It's not really anything interesting. Like as a news itself. New game studio Lost Arrow opens in Gateshead. New game studio Lost Arrow has opened in Gateshead, TAGN, and were led by industry veterans from Sumo Digital, CCP, and Electronic Arts. I'm not going to go deeper into who those people are, but can you spot what I mean? Why this news might be actually interesting? Can you spot why I think it's weird? North England. I don't see any woman. I don't see any woman on this picture. You know, they might have some lawsuits on the fucking heels very soon. Where is your DI? I mean, they have one black guy. Maybe he's also gay, or maybe this guy is gay. I don't fucking know. But it's very strange these days, what I mean. To have an all-man game developers established. Could be something good. I don't fucking know. That just stick out to me when I opened this news article to read it. Yeah. I think just interesting, isn't it? Not all of them are white people. I talked a few times about Saudi Arabia, and we're going to keep talking about them because they try to open up. They have to open up. That's what I keep telling. They need to open up to the world because Agenda 2030 doesn't close the door to one country only. They gonna exclude them if they don't go along with certain criterias. And that's why Saudi Arabia has to open up more. Saudi Arabia to host Kingdom of Gaming conference in 2026. A new game conference is set to take place in Saudi Arabia next year. The Kingdom of Gaming conference will be held in the country's capital, Riyadh, between December 1 and 3rd. The show is being organized by Tahaluf, a joint venture by GDC, organizer Informa, and the Saudi Federation for Cybersecurity, Programming and Drones. Cybersecurity, programming, and drones. That sounds to me just, I don't know anything about them. I didn't look it up today. But that sounds like a military branch. You know, just saying. Why is the cybersecurity and programming and drones department involved in such a gaming conference, pretty much? The Kingdom of Gaming marks Taluf's next mega global brand, a platform built in alignment with Vision 2030. Oh, the infamous, in my opinion, infamous year 2030. Maybe it is in a joint venture with the WEF for the Agenda 2030, the UN Agenda 2030. To accelerate the kingdom's creative economy, Taluf's EVP, Annabelle Mander, said, Riyadh is shifting from being a market for games to becoming a place where games are made. By bringing developers, studios, platforms, and investors together in one ecosystem, we are creating the conditions for new IP, new talent, and new opportunities to emerge from Saudi Arabia and scale globally. Yeah, I mean, they're investing money. They're investing a lot of money. EA is going to be Saudi Arabia, you know, pretty much. And now they need to get more people to develop games, maybe in Saudi Arabia, making the label Made in Saudi Arabia sound good in people's ears. I don't know about that. All right, John Thunder. Happy Monday, everyone, and great start to your week. Glad you're feeling better, Ike. I do. Not feeling so well tonight and just relaxing. We'll be back tomorrow to streaming. Aren't you eating meat only? How can you be sick? You healthy motherfucker. Anyhow, Saudi Arabia becoming a kind of a hotspot for new game development from next year on, maybe. Let's see how that goes. I'm not trusting them, not at all. I'm very skeptical in general, because I maybe know a little bit more than the usual gamer out there about Saudi Arabia. Because most people just know, oh yes, Saudis are against gay, they throw them off the roofs, and that's good for our games. That's one little aspect. They have laws against gays, depicting gays, and showing gays in public, and being gay in public. You know, they have all those laws, yes. But after all, they hate everything else, what you and me might like, actually, in video games. But yeah, whatever, man. It's just weird to me that everybody's praising those people. We, for decades, maybe centuries, like, were opposed to them and their ideologies. Now, because they spend a lot of money, petrodollars in our fields, all of a sudden they are good people. Fuck that shit. No, I'm not with that. Just a bad day, that's all. EA can't the next Dead Space game. There will not be a Dead Space 2 remake. That still can happen. That still can happen. Depends on the money. Depends on the progress. Whatever they already had established, like the base the base game in general. Who knows? Games can always be revived. Speaking of reviving, with old hardware, you can revive games in new visual glory with new technologies. But this one is a little bit weird because that goes against what AMD actually tried to establish. It's just strange. What I mean is, after I read it, I'm going to tell you. AMD's next-gen FSR Redstone brings big gains as long as you're using a new GPU. Not only that, NVIDIA, AMD, and Intel have all made high-quality image upscaling a cornerstone feature of their new GPUs this decade. Upscaling technologies like NVIDIA's Deep Learning Supersampling, DLSS, and AMD's Fidelity FX Super Resolution, FSR, and Intel's XE Supersampling, XES, just say XES, are all ways to transform a lower resolution source image into a higher resolution image. Today, AMD is trying to shift that dynamic with something called FSR Redstone, a collection of ray tracing and frame generation features, all intended to boost AMD's image quality while being relatively easy to implement for game developers who are already using FSR 3.1 or FSR 4. Now, the downside. The downside is that closing the quality and feature gap with NVIDIA also apparently requires sticking with NVIDIA-like hardware restrictions. Like FSR 4 upscaling, FSR Redstone will only be available on AMD's latest generation GPUs with the RDNA 4 GPU architecture, including the Radeon RX 9070 and RX 9060 series. That was FSR was good like for game developer if you had like a newer game release, but older hardware, FSR could in many games give you higher resolution because the hardware was less performant, but with the upscaling, which was like independent from what GPU you used, as long as the game developer put it in the game like with the code, you could get a little bit more out visually from newer games on older hardware. Now they just kicked that opportunity out of the window, like this advantage, pretty much, that over DLSS, just for their GPUs. I'm not sure if that pays off. I don't think that anybody really gonna consider now buying more the Radeon cards, because DLSS, the NVIDIA thing, is just better. Maybe Redstone will be way better now with the newest AMD GPUs. Hard to say. I would need to test it out on my system. So maybe John Thunder will buy one and test it out because he likes to benchmark the shit out of games with hardware and such. But yes, I don't think that was a smart decision to do. What can I say, man? It's just weird to me. The one advantage they had, like, to use this FSR in games, no matter what GPU you had, it's just gone. Weird. I watch FSR Redstone. It has frame pacing issues with its new machine learning frame generation. They need to work it. It's too bad they shit on people with older generation graphic cards. FSR 4 and 8 works on NVIDIA GPUs with upscaler, and it looks good. DLSS is still better. Yeah. That's what I'm pretty sure that's gonna. They're not gonna catch up with NVIDIA. I don't think so. they caught up a lot over the last, I would say, 10 years, right? But they just can't get to NVIDIA's level of picture quality in general. We have a little bit cry here from certain developers. Open letter claims mobile game dev is ignored because industry perceived it as a world of predatory monetization and low quality. Is it only just the perceiving aspect, or is it maybe like that? I don't know, maybe it is like that. Christian Löfstedt, CEO of Midjivan AB, has published an open letter to the global games industry, calling out peers for routinely overlooking mobile games and the people who make them. In the letter posted to LinkedIn, Löfstedt said mobile gaming is one of the most played and most profitable platforms in gaming currently, representing 55% of the global gaming market, but is often ignored and looked down on because too many perceive it as a world of predatory monetization and low quality. Yeah, because that's just the case. I'm not gonna like make you a fucking list of all the fucking mobile games and compare it to the console, to the regular consoles and PC games, but it is. That's what many mobile games can live off. The coiners, those people who buy the coins, who buy the crystals, who buy the shards, whatever currency you have in your game. But that's is the only thing that keeps it alive. Because let's just be honest, most of those mobile games are not really fun either. You know, just keep it real. Most of those games are pretty shit. You can maybe have like 1 hour, maybe 2 hour fun, and then you hit like this wall because of this monetization aspect. You hit the wall of the coin wall, and you can't keep moving forward. If you want to keep moving forward, you can in that technically, but usually you without spending money every week or every month, you're not gonna win at all. So yeah. I don't know why he thought that was a good idea to put out this open letter. If you want, you can read it. Links is down below of every article I talk about every show. But yes, I think he is a little bit either stupid or dishonest. I don't know any mobile game that is like so massive and you can just buy it once and you're good to go. That's just, I never seen such a game in mobile. Just gonna be honest. There might be, of course, such games or completely free games, but usually those are not good either. Not a fan of mobile games. I don't like playing on tiny screens with bad controls. Well, I have one mobile game on my smartphone which I play daily. But it's like a routine. I just log in and do those missions, whatever, and I see like the newest skins and the newest costumes of Marvel heroes. It's called Future Fight. It's a big ass game. It's played by millions of people daily, so it's not like a tiny game, and you can do it with a Bluetooth controller. Any controller that has Bluetooth and your smartphone can connect to a Bluetooth controller, and I can control it this way. So yeah, the small screen, it is what it is. It's your smartphone. Floppy Birds. Wasn't it Flappy? I think it was Flappy. Or some crap. But yes. It's the biggest gaming market, but only because of the aspect that I would maybe say like 90 to 95% of all those games are just free to play in the first run. But if you want to win, you need to pay on a monthly basis at least, but usually like weekly, to have some kind of abilities to progress in the game, you know. And yes, if you are like a comic fan and you want to keep up with Marvel's stuff, Future Fight gives you like 2 weeks, 3 weeks heads up with the costumes, or makes like specials when a new show is being released, a new season of a Marvel show or movie, whatever. It's interesting, the aspect that this game is so big, they get like special license to show it a little bit earlier than you see it on TV screens. Did Bethesda just drop an Elder Scrolls 6 2027 release date tease? Fans think so. They have still fans? Holy shit. Earlier this week, Bethesda announced Elder Scrolls 5 Skyrim Anniversary Edition would be arriving on Switch 2, complete with faster load times and enhanced resolution. Along with a gameplay trailer, the developer also shared a playful live-action trailer, which focused on Santa's elves getting ready for the festive season. One of these elves unfortunately messed up a bit and loses Santa's all-important list. So, in a bid to save Christmas, another elf suggested giving everyone Skyrim on Switch 2. Santa is pleased with this idea, proclaiming, "You son of a cup of cocoa," as the elf's speech increases to 27. I mean, could be, I don't fucking know. I don't care that much, but yeah, this franchise has still a lot of fans, so that's why I talk a bit about this piece. It would be time. It would be time. When was it announced? When was it announced? Does it say here? 2018. 2018 it was announced, and 9 years is long enough, you know, from announcement to the release. It should be shorter. Good time frame, I think, is always 6 years. For bigger games, at least. I saw that there one release on Switch 2 of Skyrim. It's limited to 30 FPS. I mean, the hardware is not so powerful, so I don't know if the Switch has like kind of like the PS5, a performance mode or a quality mode. Because the performance mode always gives you 60 FPS if the game is somewhat decently programmed. And if you want the quality mode, you can always being limited to 30 FPS. And I'm not a like US snob and, oh, no, only 30 FPS? I can't play this game. I completely forgot in the 90s that my PC couldn't run almost no game really with 30 FPS. But yes, these days I want 200 FPS minimum. Otherwise, I'm going to be crying in my corner all alone and blame Gabe Newell. I don't care if the 30 FPS are smooth, meaning they don't skip any frames, you know, you can live very well with that. Of course, 60 FPS looks always a little bit better. Always a little bit better. Just perceiving wise, it's better. Speaking of that, higher frame rate, we come to that later on, if you stick to the show. But my ray tracing. Fuck your ray tracings. Yeah, but the new Redstone has also abilities with pushing ray tracing. All them rays in your face. Phantom Blade Zero launches September 9, 2026. Action RPG Phantom Blade Zero will launch for PlayStation 5 and PC via Steam and Epic Game Store on September 9, 2026. Developer S Game announced. And you can read all those little details, what they already tell us. This game looks crazy good, but it's a Chinese game. And I have the same like mentality, the same approach to the Chinese stuff, like to the Saudi Arabia corner. Very cautious, very cautious. If the game has no online DRM, meaning if I don't need to be all the time online with it, I want this game. If it's gonna be a game that needs connection for playing a single player campaign, fuck them. Fuck the Chinese. I wish it would be different, but the Chinese want all your data. They're not gonna be like, yeah, we're gonna make all those great games and lure you in. And no, we don't want your data. We are good without your data. We don't need your data, mister. No, they want all your data. So I'm skeptical that it's gonna be like no online and only offline gameplay. And who knows what DRM it's gonna have really. Black Myth, for example, I want to play Black Myth, but no. Seems like a cool game, this one. It looks very, very good. Visually, gameplay-wise, it seems to have all the parry abilities you wish from such a game. Meaning, whatever you miss in parrying an attack from your enemy, it's your fault. It looks like exactly like that. So it's going to be a game that drives skill to the next levels. And then I saw this news, which is the same game. But the news is like stupid. PS5 will be the only console you can play Phantom Blade 0 for at least 12 months. We already knew Sony had some form of PS5 console exclusivity with uber exciting action RPG Phantom Blade 0, but now we have complete confirmation. The latest trailer for the game, announcing its 9th September release date, has PlayStation-specific small print. It says PS5 console exclusive, also available on PC, not available on other consoles until at least 12 months after the release date. They make it sound like it's so, wow, holy shit. It's exclusive only on PlayStation 5 console-wise. So you're not going to get a game that is very visual intensive, graphic card intensive. So yeah, the Switch 2 is already out of questions. What is left? The Xbox. Wow. You made the Xbox wait at least 12 months. But you're gonna get it on PC. So how exclusive is that really? I think you're just playing with words here. I want to know how much money exchanged was exchanged here. How much Sony paid? What was the game S game? How much they paid them? Hard to say. But probably $1 million, $2 million for exclusivity. Maybe 10 million. Because 12 months, those go by pretty quickly. If because you're going to play other games in the meantime on Xbox. Dude, you're shaving your eyebrows? No. Looks like trimming them. He goes always for the looks. What a retard. Oh, dear Sarge. I need to talk about it because still millions of people play this crap. Instead of fixing WoW's new floating house exploit, Blizzard makes it official. Longtime World of Warcraft players have been waiting 21 years for the new in-game housing features that Blizzard officially announced last year and which launched in early access last week, which was the week before last week, really, because I was not here last week. Shortly after the launch, though, players quickly discovered a way to make their houses float high above the ground by exploiting an unintended invisible UI glitch. Now Blizzard says that the overwhelming response to that accidental house hovering has been so strong that it's pivoting to integrate it as an official part of the game. We were going to fix flying houses to bring them back to the terra firma, but you all made such awesome stuff, so we made it possible with the base UI instead. Designer Jesse Kurlanchik said. Kyle Hartliner added, like no joke, we had an ops channel about how to roll out to the float fix, but folks shared like 5 of the dopest houses, and we all kinda immediately agreed this was way too cool to change. Maybe it was too hard to fix, actually. That could also be the case. I told this story already once. But there was like a little bug, a little just geometry bug where you needed to go from a floating ship to a platform. And when you just walked normally, you just fell through the floor. Before you got from the ship to the platform, you just fell through. There was an easy fix, kind of, by the players already found out. Just get levitating from a priest, and you just could hover over this little bump that was invisible and that let you slip through the floor. You know? And Blizzard actually banned people to exploit their own fucking mess. But now times have changed. Blizzard is expanding the ability of player exploits here. It's just weird. It's just weird how Blizzard pretends to be for the players. I assume there was a part in this whole thing that was making it more difficult for them to really fix it. Just my here suspicious thought about it. Your house ascended to the level of Dalaran. I mean, it's magic in general in this game. It's the same stupidity like having the highest mage, the highest human mage, having a wheelchair that hovers. Makes no sense, but yeah, those people. You can't help those people. They have zero creativity these days. I prefer the parachute cloak to levitate, but did not play a priest char. I mean, it was in the raid, you know. And priest was just there and just levitating everybody, so whatever. Surprising absolutely to no one. Leon S. Kennedy confirmed for Resident Evil Requiem in new gameplay trailer. Fans conspired and Capcom said no. Rumors swirled and still Capcom appeared to say no. And even after irrefutable evidence surfaced, the developer kept its lips sealed until now. Leon S. Kennedy has finally officially been confirmed as a playable character in the upcoming Resident Evil Requiem. And much like Chris Redfield before him, the one-time twink extraordinaire has formally been brushed with the taint of middle age. I picked this out because, especially because of this little notion by Capcom Do we see other characters from previous games? Is any of them playable? And Capcom at the beginning was like, no, Leon will not be playable. And then they changed the wording. Yeah, you're gonna see familiar faces, but don't be too hyped. They used the word, don't be too hyped about it. And now you just saw in the trailer, you're gonna shoot with Leon S. Kennedy. And he doesn't look like a soy boy anymore, like in the original Resident Evil 4. In Resident Evil 2, he looked not like a soy boy. He was just like coming as a new police officer to town. So he looked, I mean, it was a low resolution, what you expect. In the remake of Resident Evil 2, he looks fine, absolutely fine. But in the original of Resident Evil 4, he looks a lot like a soy boy. He still has the hairstyle the same, but I think he's now wiser and knows more about the world of zombies. What the fuck is a twonk? Do we want to know? I didn't want to know. I didn't look it up. Maybe you can look it up right now and tell us in as less words as possible. It's so stupid. Leon Scott Kennedy is back, and he has that I'm getting too old for this shit face in this game. That was already told, like he has more of this sarcasm of older man, middle-aged man, older man, sarcasm in the game. Is it gonna be like that? Who knows, but he looks like wiser. He looks like he has seen way more shit than anybody else, actually. Maybe Chris has seen a little bit more, but he looks like he has seen shit. Leon looks awful in RE4 remake. I don't know. He looks better, in my opinion, than in the original RE4. Leon in RE remake looks like he has seen some shit. He is too serious, in my opinion. If you mean this, no, not twink. Maybe it was a typo, because Matt Wales is probably also gay. Just because he writes for a video game magazine, probably gay. I don't know why they need to be gay to join those companies and to write for them, but a lot of them are gay, man. It's crazy. Tomb Raider TV show will feature Avatar Sigourney Weaver. Role revealed. Oscar-nominated actor Sigourney Weaver has confirmed to the reports that she will appear in the upcoming live-action Tomb Raider series on Prime Video. The scripts are incredible and very funny, very charming, very witty. And as we have come to expect from Mrs. Waller-Bridges. Yet why I'm coughing today? I've always been a huge fan of hers, so I am delighted. That's what Sigourney Weaver herself said, which is absolutely insane. Phoebe Waller-Bridge has zero appeal in any fucking regard. She looks like mid. I would do her, I guess, but other than that, I don't think she is funny. I don't think she has a soothing voice. I don't think she can act that well with whatever I saw from her. Sigourney Weaver, a huge fan of hers. That tells me everything, that she has lost her mind these days. And that this show is gonna be dog shit. That you need to praise before anything is shown and made. You praise it like to the highest heavens. That tells me this show is dead on arrival. The Tomb Raider TV show is set to begin filming in January 2026. So it's possible we will soon learn more about the series and its cast. As for Weaver, she'll be seen next in Cameron's Avatar, Fire and Ash, which comes to theaters on December 19, which is in this Thursday, huh? I think Avatar is gonna make big bucks, man. All them dollars. Instead of vibe coding, it's vibe journal. That's what twonk means, or what? Sigourney Weaver is getting a senile, it seems. Too bad. Ruins her image. Not going to watch this new show. I don't know if she, just because of this, or becoming senile. I think she has become senile already. Maybe she's old and needs the money. I don't fucking know. Everybody needs to remember her in good faith, you know? The bush, her bush in Alien, you know? The nipple of Sigourney Weaver in Ghostbusters. Yeah. These days with high resolution images, meaning Blu-ray and 4K Blu-ray. I think it is in the scene where she is in the seat and will be dragged and all that. Some hand grabs too harsh, and you see the nipple. Bush nipple. Keep her in good faith mind here. Bush and nipple Weaver. Weaver Beaver. The Weaver Beaver. Shall we talk already about this a little bit? Let's do it. Fully fledged from the ground up, Tomb Raider remake announced. A from the ground up remake of the original Tomb Raider has been announced at the Game Awards. I haven't looked at the Game Awards, fuck that shit. Everybody was talking about that, so why should I keep talking specifically about that too? Unlike the original game and the remastered collection that was released last year, this version of the Tomb Raider has a certain cinematic unchartedness to it. Lara, meanwhile, has had a bit of a makeover with her character model in Legacy of Atlantis, sporting the classic tank top and short shorts look, but with the jade necklace first introduced in 2013's Tomb Raider reboot. You can see how it all looks in the new Tomb Raider Legacy of Atlantis trailer. I think it's just fair that we watch it together because I'm gonna admit, everything in this trailer looks good. Her voice is not annoying. Her movement seems to be great. The music is very, very pleasing to my ears, at least. And her looks absolutely fine. If YouTube can load it.
It's been years.
It has been years, yes. 2018. The last one.
But the events are still etched in my memory.
Fuck off. Woman figure? I mean, what do you want more? A good woman figure. She has some ass. She has the curves to the side, like a woman should have. Crystal Dynamics and what was it? The Wild Dog or some companies developing it. This is the frame everybody is using. She just looks good. You know, she looks like Lara. She looks like a Lara. Albeit a modern Lara, meaning very detailed overall. You see her lips. I don't know why she needs eye shader here. Gives more contrast, of course, in the whole face. But she just looks good. You know, she just looks good. Nothing wrong with that. I mean, for some people, there was something wrong with it because She's gooner material, according to some ex-posts from some weirdo people who just can't take it that a woman looks like a good-looking woman. It is wrong to them. How dare Crystal Dynamics and this other company make Lara look good? How fucking dare?
New discoveries.
And you see a little bit gameplay here
Every door.
with the hook, how she moves.
Across every chasm.
She has finally some chest. She is flexible.
I didn't know then. The path this
Her tits are bigger. Her tits are bigger than the previous trilogy, the reboot trilogy. A little bit bigger. They could be bigger. I suggested on X to Crystal Dynamics, you will sell immediately more if you make the chest 50% bigger. Doesn't need to be double the size, but how about 50%? It would look amazing, just saying. But it looks good.
adventure with
Nothing really wrong with her. And many people saw that too. And you're fighting dinos?
it was a fire.
That's like badass, you know? Every game with fighting dinos shouldn't go wrong.
To see more.
Some Indiana Jones vibes here.
To uncover the secrets of Atlantis.
Jump and run stuff. Again, her facial expression. Woman. It is just crazy these days. You have to point out that we have, again, a good-looking female character in the game. Isn't that fucking weird? Like, what does it all mean? Everyone on Rumble is talking about your guest appearance on my stream the other day. Nobody's talking about that, so shut up, Chatter Steve. A woman with no dick. How dare you? Get Big Mike next time. You racist transphobes. Big Mike is not English. Lara Croft is English. Very English. She always was English. At least that they never changed. I don't know any Tomb Raider where they made her I don't know, South African or American or Australian, New Zealander. She always remained at least this English adventurer woman. One of the games is a remake of the first Tomb Raider. It already received a remake in 2007 with Tomb Raider Anniversary. This is like the remake of the very first one. I'm going to talk about the other one. I'm going to talk a bit about the other one too. Calm your fucking tit haste. You are dealing here with the guy who reads the fucking news. Not like all those lame asses on Rumble and on YouTube. I don't know if YouTube has like a lot of daily, really game news stuff. I don't remember any of those. Geeks and Gamer would be daily, but they usually talk a lot about fucking social media posts and some happenings in the movie industry or show industry, or some faggot said something and everybody needs to talk about this one phrase. Some bullcrap like that. Lara returns in Dino Crisis. Yeah, that would be a good mix there. Big Mike husband isn't American, so there's that. Yeah, but even Big Mike's husband is not English. You know?
English, motherfucker, do you speak it?
English. Not Laura. Lara, you dickhead. And then she fights against the big boy. The king of the dinos.
Some legends are destined to be retold.
The Tyrannosaurus Rex. Coming 2026. So again, everything in this trailer looks just good. No warning signals, you know. I have 0 alarm bells going on. I don't hear anything, which is a good sign. So I'm looking forward to this one. Unfortunately, like my preview picture, my thumbnail here shows, for some reason, that's why I named it double Y. Why? I can deal with this one, you know? And here she doesn't look bad, really, but she looks just not like Lara. I don't know. She looks more like an Indian Lara. There's another game was announced right after this Legacy of Atlantis with the trailer we just saw. And it's called Tomb Raider Catalyst. And it's featuring this woman here. This Lara here. Those are 2 different Laras. They are, as far as we can tell, not connected with each other so far. It is mentioned, Atlantis is mentioned. But yeah. And there was then published another article after the whole trailer stuff. How to play Lara, like, chronologically. The links down below, like I said, for all the articles. And you have a lot of Lara titles. I'm gonna admit, I never liked Tomb Raider. It was revolutionary when it came out on PlayStation and PC back then in 1996. Like, holy shit, 3D! She can jump forward, backwards, sideways even, and shoot with double guns here, you know, double gun action. That was like something outstanding, never seen anything like that. But for me, it wasn't just not for me, you know. But yeah. Oh shit, I haven't put the other trailer. Well, let's change that. It's shorter, the catalyst is way shorter. PlayStation.
The entire world knows your legend. You survived the dragons.
And you kind of can already see. By the way, with the comma on your keyboard, you can do rewind frame by frame on YouTube. And with the point forward, just so you know, there you learned something. I think that's a good frame here. Her tits have become smaller already in this catalyst.
The dragon's triangle. Cross the threshold to Atlantis.
But here she is clearly in Asia.
I've heard a dozen told tales that
Has a lot of tools still.
But I say, all
I don't know why we need such a villain. Looks just silly. Short hair, dyed, nose ring. Here I have all the alarm signals going off.
legends must come to an end.
That's where you're wrong.
Smaller tits. And I mean, that could be also just a lot of the lighting. It is a lot of the lighting around her. It's dark. She's in a cave. But you still see that her skin is darker. It's not like she looks bad, but she also doesn't look like amazingly good. Especially when you first saw the other trailer, where she looks just way, way better than this one. Smaller tits, more badass, actually. Like, I don't care. I just jump into this hole. I just start shooting. I don't get into cover and all that. I don't dodge like the bullets or whatever. I just shoot everything down instantly. Kick some dude in the face. A little bit more like badassery here going on, huh?
I'm just getting started.
She looks to me like Indian Lara Croft. We can go frame by frame. Again, backwards, rewind. Try to get a frame where it's not so blurry, where the motion blur is not so harsh. Here, maybe like that. Again, it's not like she looks bad, but she looks worse, way worse than the other Lara. I have no idea why Crystal Dynamics thinks that's a good idea. Maybe it's a tactic. Maybe they're gonna release the other one, release this one a year after, to see the sales number, and then they can claim, yeah, we overdid this one, but whatever. I'm not looking forward to this one. PlayStation. I find it weird. I find it weird that they needed to make like this. This one is being parallel developed, which is strange and just sucking up money. They should have focused all the money, all the manpower, all the brain power, all the developers, the whole staff on the other one, Legacy of Atlantis, to make it even better, you know. I hope it's gonna be good. I hope it's gonna be good, the first one we saw. Who knows? Who knows though? And I said already in multiple locations when I had the chances, because Phoebe Waller-Bridge claimed at one point, I talked about this too, she claimed she wants to intervene, like the game's IP in that sense, and the show IPs together. They should go along with each other. So my only fear for the 2026 game, Legacy of Atlantis, is that Phoebe Waller-Bridge might be included in the making of that game too. And when she has just her little finger into this game, it's gonna be visible. It's gonna be like you're gonna spot it where she had her finger in. So who knows? But she claimed that. She claimed that everything is gonna be intervened and it's gonna be inclusive together. Blah blah blah. It's whatever. I'm looking forward to the 2026 game. Not looking forward to the 2027. Vacuum noises. Womb Raider brought to you by Planned Parenthood. I don't know about that. Nose ring, wow, how novel. The black woman won't be a true villain and she'll be vindicated. You might be right. They might become best friends. It might be this Sigourney Weaver. It might be Sigourney Weaver. Who knows? Blackfacing Sigourney Weaver. Well, those tits match her BMI. Thank you. Come again, Lara. Bait and switch. Shut the fuck up, Phoebe. Can't disagree on that. Like I said, I don't want to talk about fucking the Game Awards too much. But sometimes they show stuff which is very interesting. The Resident Evil trailer 3 was shown there too, you know? And all those companies give the Game Awards a lot of money for their announcement, for their spot and all that. And I assumed, yeah, I mean, you remember the demonic thing in the desert of, I think it was Nevada, right? People went there and looked it live up, how it looks in real, and it was like a bigger thing in there in the desert. And it was then announced that comes from the game Divinity 3. I don't know the whole name. And I assumed, yeah, they got at least like $500,000 for this whole thing. You know, probably they got more because they got about 5 minutes dedicated in the awards show for this one game. So I assume they spent $1 to $1.5 million just for this biggest announcement in the Games Awards show. That's how they make money in the Games Awards. Companies give them money, a lot of monies for ad spots, which Dear Sarge would love. He should have watched, actually, the whole Game Awards. The Game Awards. And then was this game announced and shown, and I just think this looks very, very interesting. I don't know what really appeals to me, but yeah. One of the more enigmatic reveals of tonight's Game Awards has proven to be the first look at Forest 3, the new game from End Night. A spaceship-bound character, presumably returning to Earth, who is suddenly sucked through a portal or wormhole and then crash lands on a dangerous and disturbing alien planet, filled with strange creatures and, in one case, a vaguely human... Do you spell it like that? Human-like abomination. And I think it's just fair to watch this together again. Like we watched already a few trailers today. So right away you see here 2.3847 AU, which is light years. Light years to Earth. He's playing chess with his robo-homo friend. He's eating the crunchies. And YouTube just fucks around. Then something happened. And you see the light years just change. 27 million light years now. And it gets higher and higher, and yeah. Something happened there. He crashed. Or how some people would say, crashed. It looks like an exploring game. Maybe it has building elements. Kind of like No Man's Sky. I think the music is what got me really, like, it has this late 80s synth horror, sci-fi touch to it. I think YouTube is fucking around and just... That's not 1440p, but whatever. She has a worm in her mouth and is just a half human. She has a bush. A mossy bush. It has a little bit of this Lovecraft touch to it, you know? I think the music got me mostly. Looks just interesting. Looks just interesting. I don't think it's a big new idea, crashing on a planet and exploring it and all that. Taco Bella. Oh wait, I already know what's up. It's the sky. My bad. Oh, you said what's up? Ahoy, Taco Bella. Are you following the channel? If not, why not? What's wrong with you? Everybody should follow this channel. It's the greatest news game channel here on Rumble. But yes, does it look intriguing to you guys? Forest 3. Capcom. I mean, Capcom is still one of the better developer and publisher out there. But still, they try sometimes stuff that will not work. I don't think so. Mega Man Dual Override brings the Blue Bomber back in 2027. Capcom is bringing you the Blue Bomber back. Mega Man is back in action with Mega Man Dual Override, set to arrive sometime in 2027. I mean, nothing looks wrong with it, but it looks just boring. You know, if you have played Mega Man, I would say 1 to 5 or something like that on original NES and the Super Mega Man series on the Super NES, I think you've seen the peak Mega Man actually. I was never good. I'm gonna admit I was never really good with Mega Man gameplay-wise. It can be very challenging, don't get me wrong. But I think you've seen it after a while. You've seen it, what Mega Man has to offer. And then Capcom then let it actually die, and then came like the spiritual successor with Mighty Number 9, you know? And that was kind of a flop, but it was a Kickstarter campaign, and so people paid for it, like actually made it to get into life. Yeah, and then they released like Mega Man Collection on PC, Steam, and all that, which is all fine, you know. You still can play Mega Man on your PC or on Steam. You just get the collections. And with the X versions and a lot of Mega Man is out there. Let's put it that way. And this one looks just absolutely fine. I mean, we can, I guess, watch it if you want. I'll let us skip a little bit through it. So you see Mega Man, and then you see like all familiar, but more with 3D elements. Like the background is 3D rendered, a lot of polygons compared to the old Mega Mans. You see very familiar the picture of Mega Man, actually, more or less, as far as I can tell, the original design. And you see familiar enemies and all that. Sliding action like you had it in the originals. What is Dual Override? I don't know. I don't care either. Why I choose this this news is very simple too. First, to point out, if you're a big Mega Man fan and you have not heard it, there you go. And secondly, actually, that's the first one. Capcom claimed they want to make Mega Man this big IP, this big franchise, as big as Resident Evil, at least. And Wild Hunt. Good luck. I can only say good luck, man. I can say only good luck. I don't think you're gonna succeed. I think people like robots. Yes, sure, whatever. To play with robots, be a robot in a game. But I think the time of Mega Man has passed. I think there is not enough material to make Mega Man as big as Resident Evil. I just don't see it. I might be wrong. Didn't Expedition 33 win and the devs release new content to celebrate? Yeah, I saw that myself on Friday. Sandfall Interactive, the developer of Expedition 33, gave just free content, a little new zone, a smaller zone with new bosses on Friday. I think, it was a Friday. I just saw like a almost 2 gigabyte update for the game on my Steam. So yeah. I mean, good on them, and good for the fans. But what do fans of Mega Man think? Is this gonna be a big success? Is this gonna revive the franchise to new heights and on par with Resident Evil? With Resident Evil, the biggest IP actually of Capcom. If they would have said like, yeah, Devil May Cry, maybe. I don't know. But even that, it's like a high goal post there. I don't know. Weirdos. I don't know nothing about that. Game Awards. You should have watched it. And that's for the best. It's becoming like the Oscars. Nobody watches that anymore. I wouldn't say that, John Thunder. It was a little bit annoying. When was it? Thursday, right? It was Thursday. Like the first 9 in the gaming sector on Rumble were just Game Awards, Game Awards. How novel all of those people all of a sudden are super interested and all of a sudden super knowledgeable with all those games and can have their own opinion, of course, and have like deep knowledge, educated opinions about all this stuff all of a sudden. Whatever, Rumble, whatever. They featured like multiple of those, which is, I don't know, man. Oversaturating certain topics with certain shows, whatever. Good for you, Taco Bell. But yes, in my opinion, it is the Game Awards. The Game Awards is kind of like the Oscars, like all those nominations and awards show. It has the same formula. Big money is involved, and those are doing all the circle jerkings to each other, with each other, jerking on in each faces and claiming like that's the best shit ever since sliced bread, or whatever. Seems interesting, but I need to see some gameplay. That's the whole gameplay here, really. Like I said, it looks just like regular Mega Man, just higher resolution and with some 3D elements. If you're into Mega Man, it's gonna be good for you. I'm pretty sure. Let me sip a little tea here for my throat. We are kind of almost done here. Mega Man 11 didn't do it for me. I mean, I think I played through 2 and 3, and after that I was like done. Unions. Sarge loves them unions, as everybody should know now. He thinks like all unions are bad. Like they have no legitimate existence, really. And I tend to agree with him in the field of gaming. Doom! Quake developers form wall-to-wall union at ID Software. 165 workers at ID Software, the studio behind Doom and Quake franchises, have elected to unionize with the Communication Workers of America, CWA, in yet another wall-to-wall developer union within Microsoft. The new union encompasses developers, artists, programmers, and other disciplines, and has been formally recognized by Microsoft in accordance with its pledge to remain neutral with regard to unions within its ranks and voluntarily recognize any that emerge. Union members suggest issues of concern for the group include the instability of games industry writ large, as well as the necessity of remote work. I marked the necessity of remote work in particular out here because what do you mean with that? Like you have the right and you have the some kind of constitutional right to do remote work, or like you don't want to be forced to do remote work? What is the necessity remote work here really? And again, Microsoft just let it slip again. That's like the 3rd or even the 4th union we had in this year alone in gaming in Microsoft, which is kind of a lot. And Microsoft seems to have no problem with it. I think they just let it go. They don't care at this moment, because keep in mind, Microsoft paid 80 billion for a new AI platform, internal AI platform for all their systems, you know. And Microsoft is probably, after Amazon, the biggest server provider, server infrastructure provider for like regular people and other bigger corporations and companies. And Amazon is just the biggest one. So they might just see what's coming up in the future. As soon as the AI system really works well, I think they're just going to lay off thousands and thousands, maybe hundreds of thousands of people all at once. And then those unions means jack shit to them, because just because you're in a union will not protect you from layoff. Microsoft will just claim, well, it's not like feasible for us. You don't make us money. Our AI works perfectly well, and we can replace your job with the AI, and it's gonna do the same job, in the same quality. I think that's what's coming for all those union workers in gaming. Again, I think unions are a good thing when it's about certain jobs, to protect your health in the first place. How about you have some handrails and not fall off certain spots, for example? Making some guidelines this way. But in gaming, you have easy jobs, man. Come on. Why you need to unionize? If the company is that shitty, leave that company. But if you want to be in a shitty environment and being protected by the union, you're just hurting yourself over time. I don't know. Unionized government employees are why we can't clean up the VA. I think it's not only the VA. I think it's pretty much everything you can clean up in the government. because they can unionize too. Double protection. Double protection. Orbitals is a co-op puzzle adventure inspired by classic anime, coming exclusively to Switch 2 next year. Publisher Kepler Interactive and newcomer developer Shapefarm have revealed Orbitals, a co-op puzzle adventure inspired by classic anime. This just looks gorgeous. I don't have a Switch 2. I'm not going to buy because of this a Switch 2. But if you have a Switch 2 and you have a friend who has a Switch 2, you like anime, you have to buy this game. There's no other way around it. You just have to. If you don't buy it, you're a dick. You're just a dick. Give Nintendo money for this one. It looks like a high-quality production anime from the late 80s, very early 90s. And that's the game. You're already seeing the game. That's all the game. Visually, that is probably the best cel shading anime in-game graphics I've ever seen. There are plenty of other games that do it well too, but this one is like, man, next level actually, in my opinion. Here again, as if you would watch an anime actually. But this is all interactive. So it's a co-op game. You see your partner when he is in front of you or up above you, you're using the cannon, he is flying. Orbital Space Adventure!
Nintendo Switch 2から出るよ。
Nintendo Switch 2から出るよ。
イエイ、お楽
イエイ
しみに。
And just amazing looking. That's all I can say. That's why I picked it. 100% anime, but not 100% anime because it's interactive. No salaries, no breaks, no lunch, no sleep, no vacation, no unions. Humans need not apply. The AI doesn't care, no. I love when lefty companies get squeezed by lazy union employees like Microlimp and Sodomy Bucks. Microlimp? What? Oh, you mean Microsoft and Sodomy Bucks? Yeah, but you drink Sodomy Buck coffee sometimes. I don't know why you would drink that shit, but you like coffee so much. And they make the best creamer, maybe? I don't fucking know. Don't drink Sodomy coffee. Romero Games working on smaller shooter that borrows from its cancelled project. Ireland-based Romero Games is working on a new, smaller project that lifts heavily from the shooter it had been working on, but was cancelled by its publisher. John Romero said that the studio had survived the aforementioned title's cancellation, adding that it has been completely redesigned. The new project is much smaller and is pulling elements from the cancelled shooter. We had a really good 110 people working on the game every day for years. The game's been basically completely redesigned. The new game has nothing to do with the previous game, but incorporates a lot of the elements that we had in previous game. We are not starting at ground zero. We have 50 million worth of game that we can take pieces out of and put into a brand new indie game. We have a lot of stuff a lot of stuff we can put in the game. The design is completely different, but the team is very excited about the new design. It's a much smaller game, but it's more it's more fun for us because the people working on it were all directions of the different departments, and they didn't actually get to code or design or whatever themselves. Now we get to actually do the thing that we are really good at ourselves. That's why small teams are great. Yeah, I don't know about the legality of it, but I think it's good news because Romero is kind of like a very beloved figure in the gaming industry, development industry. Has a lot of fans still. I don't remember him besides Doom. I have no idea what else he did, but yeah, whatever. Oi, ball of tennis! OFP, ball of tennis gifted. Comes just in gifts. Thank you very much. And the Dear Sarge got it. Now Dear Sarge can watch the next premium stream. I don't know if it's gonna align because I already did my premium stream, so who knows? But we're gonna see. We're gonna see. For this month, no premium streams. No premium. I mean, I have always premium content, but not premium streams. Oh, Gapstead, fucking Belgian boy, finally watching again. Wearing a classic Doom shirt right now. Ahoy, Godzilla. Thank you very much for the gifted. Ball one. Jello Hot Tub stream. I don't know, that's like the third time you asked me. First, I have no hot tub. Second, that's gay. I mean, I guess you would want to see that. And Sarge would get too aroused. He would leave his wife for me at this point if he sees me naked. Weirdo. So I'm gonna say in the far future. maybe in the far future. I couldn't watch last week when the Swiss elitist prick did a premium stream. Hey, you just could subscribe. Shut your mouth or subscribe. It's a small price to pay. You know that we are going to pay bigger prices if we are not going to be a little bit more cautious about our privacy, about our behavior, especially in video games. Our graders, big success still. We're just gonna wait for the newest hype game actually, because Arc Raiders got it from Dune Awakening, and when a new game comes with a lot of fun, Arc Raiders numbers of players is gonna drop. But for now, it's still a very, very much liked game out there. Hundreds of thousands of people playing still every day. I'm not a big fan of it. I kind of want to play, but I'm not gonna give them any data. Arc Raiders analyzes player behavior and uses an aggression-based matchmaking according to an Embark art director. Bloodthirsty players are put in more aggressive lobbies, while chill players mostly get less aggressive lobbies. It's like just a small information here. I don't like it at all because it shows me that they are using AI. It shows me that they are using AI because Arc Raiders is all about AI. The voice acting in the game is AI. All those missions you get supposedly is all voice acted by AI. The bots are learning every time you play more and more, they are learning and behaving differently. And now even like the lobby, the very basic stuff is gonna be checking your behavior, how you play and all that. That's just a privacy issue. It doesn't sound like it, but that's a privacy issue because they are collecting data on your account, on you. So I'm gonna tell everybody right now, right here, I don't want to hear any fucking complaint about privacy issues, about AI adjusting according to your behavior in the future, about anything when you still keep playing Arc Raiders daily. If you don't see like AI is just getting a hold of your whole life in the near future, just because you have a little bit more fun with this game, you deserve everything that is coming towards you with AI. You're gonna be the biggest fucking slave of the AI in the future. Confirmed, Ike likes anal. Yes, totally. Especially anal isist. Remember the movie Cube? FP? Cube was with Jennifer Lopez. This Cube? Wait, that Cube you did mention FP is based upon the novel or movie? When I think of Cube, I just think the Borg are coming to assimilate us. That was also all just AI in the end. Big fucking brain, AI brain, hive mind brain. Just pointing that out. I couldn't watch a lot. I read this. Hey FP, old friend, nice to see you around. Dito, the next really big hype game will be Cube, MMO. It's not an MMO, FP. I told you last time. Why you forget shit? It's not going to be an MMO. They are claiming it's going to be an MMO. It looks good, but we have just seen a trailer, high resolution, pre-rendered trailer stuff. It's going to be probably fun, but don't get your hypes up. Don't get your hypes too high, that's what I mean. It's not going to be like the new killer, because even like the original where it came from, Atomic Heart, good game. I like it. I played it through. The playlist should be still there of Atomic Heart. I haven't played the newest DLC though. But it's not gonna be a killer of anything really. No, it's just not. Just not. If you're gonna play it and you like it, the better. If people like games that they play, that's always good. But it's not gonna be like this amazing whatever. Don't get your hypes too high. I'm not into either. What was the company that programmed Atomic Heart? What was the company called? I have Atomic Heart still. Oh no, I uninstalled. Why did I uninstall it? It's weird. Maybe because it takes 120 gigabyte. Moonfish, I think it was Moonfish. Pretty sure. Yeah, the developer was Moonfish. It made money. So much is sure. Made quite a lot of money. But Cube is actually a spin-off. I think they wanted to make it an add-on in the similar fashion like with Dying Light and The Beast. Dying Light The Beast is now a standalone game, but they actually wanted to have it as DLC for Dying Light 2. But then Tencent was coming in and said, yeah, focus all your manpower and staff on The Beast and make it a standalone. And they made it, and a little bit cheaper than a regular standalone, but it has not the content of a full standalone. in my humble retard opinion. Show it as Ike. Show what? I have no idea what Arc Raider is, but see a fuck ton of the rainbows all over Rumble. Yeah. Maybe they are all gay. Maybe they are all trained to be gay secretly and they don't realize that they are being trained to be gay and to love the rainbow. Who knows? Who knows? Atomic fart. Very deadly. That's not what I said. Are you an avid gamer or just here for the pity views? He is just here for the pity view. So I have one more viewer. He probably watches also on TV and on his phone and has logged in on the notebook. He gives me like 3 viewers. Fucking viewer bot almost. I don't know dick about gaming, but here to keep my shit talking friendly company, and there are some good people in chat. Anal reject, commie raiders. Anal reject. Exclusive! A new Alien game is back in development. Insider Gaming has learned that a new game based on the Alien franchise is back in development. According to the sources, this new Alien title is a single-player arcade survival horror game that sees players trying to survive being aboard a decaying space station. They'll have to evade a mix of xenomorphs and specs ops units in what was described to Insider Gaming as being Shadow of Tomb Raider with xenomorphs at its current stage. Why does it have to be like the weakest of in the trilogy? Why can't it be like the second one, which is the best in my opinion of the last trilogy? You lost me a little bit there, you know, just saying a little bit weak start, but who knows. The game, which has been in the works since at least 2020 under a variety of names and was even first reported on by Insider Gaming in November 2022. What was once codenamed Marathon, yeah, I think that's a good decision, you changed it. And others that Insider Gaming promised not to share to protect sources, was believed to be dead for a few years. It had switched developers multiple times, but recent documents dated from earlier this year show that the current studio working on Alien is Eidos Montreal. I mean, you have like smart people at Eidos Montreal still who can develop games. But I don't like that this game supposedly changed the developer team multiple times. If it changes once because maybe the old team was falling apart or the studio was closed, whatever, that's a different story. But just changing it multiple times, there must be bigger issues with like the game itself. What is the goal of this game really? I'm watching on my phone because on one of my cats sat on my PC's power button right after I said hi. Well, cats are assholes, but you like assholes around you, I guess. Ball of tennis. The alien will be trans. But if you don't like then the aliens and they are trans, are you trans xenophobe? I don't know. Oh yeah, Fireteam Elite 2, maybe. I don't think. When they point out it's being like Shadow of Tomb Raider with xenomorphs, and it's single player. John Thunder. I don't think it's gonna be Fire Elite, Fire Team Elite 2. It might have, of course, like a multiplayer part in it to make a little bit more money for with players who want both abilities, single player and co-op multiplayer stuff. But yeah, I'm not getting my hopes too high here either. It's just interesting that it seems another game with Alien in development again. We have to wait. Not much more informations around. We had this topic multiple times, and we have to talk about it again because news, more news, and because Sarge loves them unions, especially British unions, probably. Union claims Rockstar justification of dismissals is littered with falsehoods and disinformation. The Independent Workers' Union of Great Britain has responded to Rockstar's justification for dismissing over 30 employees in October. Last week, the developer claimed claimed these workers distributed and discussed confidential information in a public forum, in breach of company policy and their legal obligations. It described claims that these dismissals were linked to union membership or activities is entirely false and misleading. In response, the IWGB said, Rockstar's statement is littered with falsehoods and disinformation and claimed it is attempting to reverse engineer a rationale for the dismissals. Once again, they have chosen to mischaracterize workers speaking about their working conditions in a private forum as leaking information, the organization said. It is hard to understand this statement as anything but a desperate attempt to deflect from the global scrutiny they have come under over the last month. I don't think there is a global scrutiny going on, like against, so to say, a Rockstar and Take-Two. Not really. Not really at all. From the very beginning, it was, for me, pretty obvious that Take-Two, Rockstar, which Rockstar is owned by Take-Two, did this decision because of those workers sharing information they were not allowed to share with the public. It was very, very, very simple. Because, keep in mind, Rockstar has become this behemoth in gaming development. They have the biggest successful game ever created with GTA 5, 215 million copies sold. That's a lot of copies sold. Best-selling game ever in gaming history. They're making billions and billions, and they have thousands of staff, thousands of workers. Why would they just lay off 30 people because they are going into a union? They don't have anything against a union either, just because by law they are allowed to organize and to have a union in every working field. Why would they risk anything as this big ass corporation actually laying off 30 people because they don't like them or whatnot? No, I'm pretty sure they actually shared confidential information with the public, and that's why they got laid off. And I don't see anybody who is really blaming Rockstar, even in the gaming industry itself. It is primarily only this one union here we are talking about that is crying like a little sissy about Rockstar being so mean and so spreading misinformation and all that bullshit. Global scrutiny. G-Unit Simulator. It's by the makers of Atomic Heart. Yeah, that's what I said. It's just weird that they still try to keep that up. This union actually also filled out a kind of a legal complaint about those layoffs and all that. And now they went to the British government directly. Where was I? It concluded from the UK Prime Minister in the House of Commons to the game developers across the world erupting in protest. All eyes are on Rockstar and their lawless attack on the people who make them their billions. Yeah, sure. Those 31 employees who were laid off because they shared confidential information and went against internal policies. Yeah, those 31 people were those who made the billions for the company. Sure. Rockstar is that stupid, like, we're making so much money, and those 31 are actually responsible for exactly that amount of billions of dollars in our pockets. Let's lay them off. Yeah. Sure. That's why this union is dog shit. You shouldn't join this union. They're gonna pretend to fight for you, but they're gonna establish nothing, and you're gonna get 0 pennies out of this whole fucking scenario. Last week, UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer described the dismissals as deeply concerning and that the ministers would investigate the case. Yeah, they can investigate all day long. I'm pretty sure Rockstar has enough lawyers on that already and had already lawyers on it before they laid off those 31 people. Scottish Labour MP for Edinburgh East and Musselburgh, Chris Murray, brought the issue to Starmer's attention during Prime Minister's questions. In a separate statement, he expanded upon his meeting with Rockstar, which he said only entrenched his concern of how the situation had been handled. The meeting began with us as MPs refused the entry unless an NDA was signed, a request they eventually withdraw after it being made clear this would not be signed, said Murray. So let me get that straight. Maybe I'm misunderstanding here something, but you as an MP, as a member of the parliament, went to Rockstar, wanted to get into the building. They refused you the entry to the building unless you sign a non-disclosure assignment. Meaning, whatever you're going to see inside there, you fucking have to keep your mouth shut or we're going to sue you to infinity and beyond. And that entrenched the suspicion in your mind because you were not allowed in without signing an NDA by a private company. Maybe I understand it wrong, but I think you're a retard. Which is a little bit concerning in my opinion, because Murray, as far as I understand, was actually appointed to the human trafficking in the UK. Like he has had the oversight of human trafficking issues to sue and persecute people who did human trafficking, and now he pretends to be for the people in that sense. In gaming, really? Dismissals? The meeting only entrenched my concerns about the process Rockstar used to dismiss so many of their staff members. It's not so many. It's not. It's just not. He continued, I was not assured their process paid robust attention to the UK employment law. I was not convinced that this course of action was necessary. And, alarmingly, I did not leave informed on exactly what these 31 people had done to warrant their immediate dismissal. Well, you have the letter now. You have the letter of Rockstar. You can read it and either accept it or not, or do other legal actions here. I'm pretty sure you're not going to win. whatever was going on, Rockstar seems to be very, very sure about their decision to lay off those 31 people. The story will move on and go on, and I'm going to report if we got bigger news to it. I'm just surprised that an MP is himself surprised not getting entry without signing an NDA. An NDA from a game that almost will cost maybe $1 billion fucking US to make, and it's going to be published next year in March. It's going to be probably the biggest game, even bigger than the previous game. Who knows? But it's a lot of fucking money is involved here, and they're not going to allow it. So you just go in, maybe make pictures, and maybe share information what you saw. They don't want to leak stuff. Very simple. Check out the 1997 sci-fi movie Cube FP. You will like it. With Jennifer Lopez, as far as I remember. Atomic Heart wants to try that game, maybe going to buy it at discount. I bought it on key sellers. I bought like the gold edition or what it was with season pass. So whatever DLC comes out, I'm gonna get it still. Good game. Very unique in that sense, like it's not the same old environment. It's kind of like almost a little bit steampunkish from the Russian perspective with AI and robots. More unique than others. Indeed, that GameCube looks good in the trailers. Thanks for the hint, Happy. What? No, we don't need this one. We need just this little piece here. Are you gonna go watch Avatar, the new Avatar, Avatar 3? I mean, if you are like an Avengers fanboy, you have to go watch it multiple times. Sources are telling us the trailer for Avengers Doomsday will have a unique rollout, one aimed at getting the diehards to see Avatar Fire and Ash multiple times. Get this, Disney is sending theaters 4 different trailers for the Marvel mega movie. Each will play for 1 week before switching to the next. So if you see Fire and Ash opening weekend, you'll get trailer 1. If you go to a week later, you'll get trailer 2, and so on. Marvel had no comment on the rollout. That's fucking stupid. And I bet with you, many people are gonna do that because of the trailers. Because they still didn't get the message that Marvel is just done. I don't think Doomsday is gonna be successful. They're gonna make it look like it's the biggest success ever. But keep in mind, this movie is like having all the characters already. Like whatever you saw in the Endgame and Infinity Wars, you're gonna see even the same characters, but this time even more. If those characters are still alive. But they are still alive because nothing makes any sense anymore in the Marvel universe. Nobody is dead for good. So yeah, whatever, man. You're gonna have like 50 characters and you have to pay them all, and Robert Downey Jr. is gonna have like, I think 50 million just straight up as usual. That's eating up in your budget, man. What are you doing? How much fanboy can you be to watch this slop, in my opinion? Just because you have the Russo brothers again for this project doesn't make it automatically a success. Many people are telling us this movie is gonna cost Marvel, meaning Disney, probably about 800 million US dollars. So that means this movie has to make at least 2 billion globally, to at least, just at least, to break even. That's just crazy, man. And they're already talking about the next after this, which is Secret Wars, which you're going to see like bad Captain America and all that. Hydra is coming up back. I don't know, man. But yes, if you want to see all 4 trailers, you have to go buy tickets for Avatar Fire and Ash 4 times. 4 weeks. Stupid. It's on my wish list, Steam. I still did not watch a Predator Walklands. I'm going to give this movie a pass. What the previous one was called Prey. The first half of Prey, we are talking about Predator now, actually really good. Actually really good. The build up, all that nice. Overall interesting story. Like this one girl is all alone and she is trying to be somebody, you know, in the tribe. Can like track animals and all that. She's a good huntress and all that. But then after the second half, it just goes bye-bye. All stupidity, all DEI woke, woman boss, girl boss. She fights a predator with a hatchet. With a hatchet that has a line attached to it, a little rope that she can pull back, and she kills the predator all by herself. Sure. Chuck Norris just admitted to using stunt doubles, but only for the crying scene. Okay. Very random information. Thank you for that. There's another new game coming out, but pretty crazy horror game called Ill. I don't remember. Going to try Ill. Is it first person? Do you see at the end? Nah, I think I've seen the trailer long ago. Someone with more money than brains will do that. I watched Prey with my girlfriend back then, and she was so scared. She just walked out of the room. Prey was very suish. Second half, absolutely. So let's keep our attention to Avatar. James Cameron's response to criticism of 3D and high frame rate in the Avatar movies. I think 2.3 billion US dollars says you might be wrong on that. Okay, you can't hardly argue with that, you know, just saying. He might be onto something. James Cameron has responded to criticism of his use of 3D and high frame rate in the Avatar movies. And it's straight to the point. I think 2.3 billion US dollars says you might be wrong on that. Well, that's the argument from authority. But the argument from artistic is, I happen to like it and it's my movie. Very simple. And he goes on explaining why it has 3D and higher frame rate. Because your brain is going to perceive it when it's going to be 3D and just 24 frames, your brain is going to have a little bit problem perceiving it correctly with those 3D glasses, you know. So you will need higher frame rate to compensate like this movement in 3D with higher frame rate. So I think he's right on it. You hardly can argue with that amount of money coming towards his pocket. Watch the trailer on Steam of Ill. Lol, that end was freaky with the toddlers. Thanks, FP. Yeah, I think I know which one you mean. I've seen like the trailer long ago. Little side note, Rob Reiner has died. R.I.P. Rob Reiner. I really don't care because I'm not a big fan of him. I think the only movies I remember a little bit of his is Stand By Me and Misery, I think was from him. Rob Reiner, the legendary director of Stand By Me, When Harry Meets Sally, and The Princess Bride, has died at 78. The name itself, I remember only because of South Park, because he was depicted not in a very flattering depiction in South Park. He was eating all the time fucking burgers and butter straight out of the bucket. Weird, but yes. I guess R.I.P. Rob Reiner. And everybody who likes his movies. What can I say? He was an outspoken libtard, but it's sad he was allegedly killed by his son. Crazy shit. Killed by his son and passed away. That's a little bit different wording here by this article, but okay. I mean, maybe they have not enough information. Who knows? We need maybe to wait. What date? Director and his 68-year-old wife, Michelle Reiner, were found of both. Okay, that sounds more like a murder. Deceased in their Los Angeles home in December 14. Okay, yeah, I guess murder is very, very much likely, unfortunately. R.I.P. though. Dead humans are dead humans. Meathead. Big Z. Big Z is a meathead too. I bet. I kind of remember South Park. We should not speak ill of deceased people in general. No matter what they really were in life. When they are dead, they are dead. You know, they can't fight back. Okay. That's pretty much the last news, yes. And it's a stupid one. I don't know why they did it, but I guess when you have enough money, you can do really, really stupid shit. One of my biggest dreams, 2,000 drones power the world's largest game of Tetris. Here you see a picture, how it looks. The spectacle was part of the Red Bull Tetris World Final and powered by drone firm Lumansky, which transformed the sky into a playable Tetris canvas. The drone game was played within the Dubai Frame, a 150-meter-high landmark that acts as an observatory and museum in Zabil Park, Dubai. 150 meter for your imperialists is about 450 foot. The inaugural Red Bull Tetris World Final took place between December 11 and 13, with an orchestra performance, fan experiences, and more. Players could register and compete via Red Bull Tetris mobile app. Let's just watch together this longer clip here. And I have my thoughts about it. I think you still could have made the biggest one, but without drones. I think it's a proof of concept in general when you do it with drones, but I think it was not necessary. So you see this kind of arc, right? And here you see the drone doing some performances by itself, the orchestra. And you needed the drone sound, of course, with the wind and the propellers. Attila, Turkey!
No, there it is. Look.
Some nerd kids.
This is gonna get a lot quicker than this.
Really? Controller. a regular ass. That looks like a regular ass Xbox controller. Really? You couldn't afford like an arcade board. That looks so stupid, you know. Maybe it was his choice, the player's choice, because he played this way at home.
In order to get that's what he needed to do, and he's cleared that little bit there as well. Going to want to get down to that and be able to start getting rid of that as well.
That's so stupid.
Leo, look at this then.
One, and that is time. Atler takes it with 150.
Yeah, Atler from Turkey. And even like the score is with drones in the sky.
Red Bull Tetris World Champion.
I mean, it's like cool, but also stupid at the same time. If you wanted to make it the biggest Tetris game, you could have used that one frame, no problem. How about though hanging more LEDs, you know? Like those chain LEDs, many of those from the arc there, you know. Make it even more high resolution this way. Well, I guess you had too much money and you needed to waste it somehow, Red Bull. Weirdos. Weird. He got in a fight with his crackhead son at Conan O'Brien's house the night before. Brains are made of meat, smart. Cholesterol, I think it is the brain mainly. I don't think cholesterol is meat. I might be wrong. I am not sure. No elk. His name was Meathead in the show. Who is that elk? The Ninja Warrior version of Tetris. The Ninja Warrior. Ninja Tetris Warrior. I think it would have looked better with LEDs. Like way more LEDs, making it way more high resolution. Could look way more impressive. Because you also saw some drones had no more power or were not in the sky. The LED might not have worked anymore. You had certain black spots there. But yes, interesting, cool, but also stupid. Yeah. But the Turkish boy won. That's what you have to keep in mind. Drone with LEDs. With. Cholesterol is found in all animals' products. Yeah, but is it considered meat? I don't think so. I don't think so. Anyhow. Thank you for the gifted ball of tennis. Much appreciated. As usual, I like them gifted. And I guess, Dear Sarge deserved it, maybe? Not sure. He should be subscribed in general, but... It's Dear Sarge. He has to save money for BBCs and Turkish bathhouses. Just saying. How about we all watch together that one piece? I have to get it though. I don't remember where I put it. So everybody can laugh at gays. I know you like to laugh at gays. Don't pretend otherwise. Where is my download folder here? Are you ready? It's a short video, but it's a good one. Well, if fucking Brave would play it, what the heck? Okay, you can't see it. Brave is pretending it doesn't understand MP4 files all of a sudden. I don't know why. But yes, that's it. That's it. Sorry. It can be your new outro. Nah, would get old. Would get old. Pretty fast. I played it on Saturday with noobs. I think he got turned on. You think so? Anyhow, thank you for being around. I hope you enjoyed whatever I said. I hope you didn't laugh too much at my accent. Analyst is a word. It's just a word here, though. But we're gonna see us again on Wednesday, hopefully, because I have to start today actually assemble my new PC. I got the main board, I got the AMD CPU, and I'm not gonna buy new RAM. I'm gonna use my already existing RAM because it's very fast. DDR5 RAM, 7,200 megahertz. They are so mega. So why buying new RAM? 32 gigabyte is still plenty for me. But yes, I have to assemble that and see if I just can get the old SSD with Windows to work right away with the new system. It's always a little bit tricky because a lot of chipsets and CPU drivers are changing, you know, but who knows. So yeah, thank you. Take care. Bye-bye. For re-ramming, you can ask your wife. I bet when she has enough time and already loaded the car, she can do the ramming. I think she can make it happen in 5 minutes or so, dear Sarge. Lol Meg, you should have said hi just a minute before the credits.
Black Girl Magic! How about you?
How dare you!
I double dare you, motherfucker!